Hey everybody, so this is my latest creation, the 5x5 Diametric Hexahedron. And if you've seen the original one, my 4x4, the stickers are laid out the same way, where this is the other side. So yeah, this was modified from a standard Shengshou 5x5, just like I used Shengshou for the 4x4 one too. And the turning is really nice on this. And because this is only the second one of these I've ever made, I'm still experimenting around with the actual method I used, and this I extended a lot more than my 4x4 one, where you can see that these pieces are both corners, and this is the original height of the puzzle. So these pieces have not been extended at all, and that's how much taller that corner piece is. So that's how the two sides compare on the 4x4 and 5x5. So if we're actually doing patterns on, I can do full 5x5 patterns where this was only doing full 3x3 patterns. So this is your standard 3x3 checkerboard pattern on this puzzle compared with the 5x5 checkerboard on this one. So as you can see, there's a whole lot more going on here. And to show you the other side, this is again the same pattern, just the other side of it, comparing both puzzles. And since this is a 5-layer puzzle, if we want to do the 3x3 checkerboard pattern on it, we can do it in two different ways. So here's the 3x3 checkerboard pattern, turning only the outer layers. So that's one half of it. And the other half. This might be one of the cooler ones, I think. So you can see how the centers are almost kind of hidden down there. When you turn it, they disappear. So that's just the outer layers. And then here's the 3x3 checkerboard using both two outer layers turned together. So there's one half. And then the other. And just look at that thing. Is that not the craziest checkerboard you've ever seen, or what? It just has like a 2x2 floating in the center there. And then these pieces way down below there. I think I do like this method of extending it out more, where there's a difference, there's a bigger difference in the height of the pieces compared with this, where I didn't really extend out all that much, and the pieces are kind of all the same size, but this gives you a more dramatic look, I think. And then for the super flip pattern, this is the typical 3x3 super flip on this, and this is a 3x3 super flip applied to this one, just using the outer layers right now. So yeah, the first half there, and then the second half, which looks even better. Look at that. And then the equivalent on this puzzle is like that. So you can see how, that's just the outer layers being turned on this one here. And I'll give you a side view of it here too. That looks pretty wild from this view also. You can really see now how big these pieces are sticking out there. So yeah, this is now the full super flip pattern on the 5x5. So there's that half, and then the other. That just looks crazy. So I'll show you another side view like this. Kind of get both halves in perspective there. And I should mention too that these stickers here were the only ones that weren't hand cut. I used, just standard pre-cut sheets for Shengshou 5x5 just for that section of it, but obviously all the other ones had to be completely cut by hand and all the corners cut off and all that stuff, so that only took about 6 or 7 hours. So if you think this kind of thing looks cool, I would really appreciate if you shared this video with anyone else who might be, interested in seeing this kind of stuff. And I thought I'd take advantage of the puzzle in this full super flip state by applying some checkerboard patterns over this, which is actually a pattern I call the checker flip, which I did back in my 11x11 mirror blocks video. So now there's 3 different versions of that checker flip pattern that we can do on this puzzle. The first being the full 5x5 checker flip, and the second being one of the two 3x3 ones where we just checkerboard the outer layers only, and then the second of the two 3x3 patterns where we checkerboard both outer layers together. So here's the first checker flip, just checkerboarding the very outside layer. So there's one half of it, and the other half. So yeah, I'm quickly realizing that this diametric hexahedron type of puzzle is just an absolute monster at making patterns. It's pretty cool actually. This corner here is so buried within these edge wings here that when you turn it like this, it almost vanishes from view. Not quite, but pretty close. So this is the second 3x3 checker flip, which is turning both outer layers at the same time together. So that's one half there. You can even see down in here, all those pieces are also, well, still in the super flip pattern basically. So yeah, there's one half, and then the other. Kind of similar to that other super flip pattern we had where the 2x2 was floating in the middle, but now it's not a solved 2x2 floating in the middle. So that's pretty interesting. There's a side view too. And here it is. Here's the full 5x5 checker flip pattern, which is the same as applying both 3x3 patterns at the same time. So again, there's first half, and then the other. It's amazing how different all these look. And again, on this one, you can really see the original shape of the puzzle there. What I really like about this one is how all these centerpieces are oriented right, where it's actually flush, like the original sides were, all the way across. I think that looks pretty cool, like that. So, as if these patterns aren't hurting my brain enough already, let's just do a full scramble on this thing now. And I can already tell that alignment is going to be a big deal on this, which is no surprise. But even then, it does turn very smoothly. You just have to be really careful about lining up the layers perfectly every time, and especially with this where, you know, even on an axis cube, it's not that hard to know where to grip it. This thing, you really got to be careful about not accidentally turning any of the layers down here that you're holding it with as you're trying to scramble it. And of course, the same thing will apply when you're solving it. You know, back when I was first solving my 5x5 axis cube, which was the second mod I ever did, that, you know, that really taught me that you have to be really careful when you're solving this just on how you hold it. And there's a pretty steep learning curve where when you're solving a normal cube, it really doesn't matter how you hold it. Alignment's never really an issue, even on, you know, really high order puzzles. But with this, it's like you have to be really, really careful, or else it's just going to be a mess every time and you're going to be constantly having to realign it. See, there was a little bit sloppier. And it really helps just to do, you know, one turn at a time instead of completely twisting a side up like, you know, like you would normally scramble a big cube like this. So, just a very different strategy. So I'd call that a good scramble. We'll take a look around it here. And more than ever, you can see the size difference between the pieces, where way down in here, in the shadow there, there's unmodified pieces next to this really tall corner piece. And unlike the scrambled 4x4, where there was just less pieces to work with, on these higher order ones, you'll always have more of the unmodified blocks touching each other, which looks kind of cool to me. So yeah, that about does it for this video, and overall I'm really happy with the way this thing turned out. So, I have a feeling that this will not be the largest one of these puzzles that you'll see on this channel. So, just a heads up on that. And yeah, thanks for watching.